At 94, Rose Martinez climbs 2 flights of stairs without touching the railing. She drives herself to volunteer at the local library 3 times a week. Her doctor, who's 44 years younger, has higher blood pressure than she does. But here's the shocking part. Just 9 years ago, Rose was using a walker, taking 12 different medications and couldn't even open a jar of pickles. What transformed her from frail to phenomenal? It wasn't expensive treatments or complicated exercise routines. It was 5 simple morning habits that most people have never heard of. These aren't your typical health tips. They're ancient secrets Rose discovered after studying centenarians worldwide. The results were so dramatic even her doctor couldn't believe it. For 35 years, she shaped young minds and lived what seemed like a perfect life with her husband Carlos. But at 82, Carlos passed away, and Rose's world crumbled. Depression hit hard. She stopped cooking, gained 35 lbs, developed type 2 diabetes, and arthritis made every movement painful. By 85, she was taking 12 medications, using a walker, and felt like a burden to her adult children. The wake-up call came when she couldn't open a simple jar of pasta sauce and had to call her neighbor for help. That night, feeling ashamed and hopeless, Rose made a decision that would change everything. She began researching how centenarians around the world stayed healthy and independent. What she discovered shocked her, and her transformation shocked everyone else. Her A1C dropped from 8.2 to 5.9. She lost 35 lbs, eliminated 8 medications, and threw away her walker. Tell me in the comments, what's your biggest health challenge after 60? Because these 5 morning habits that saved Rose's life might just save yours too. And no, they're not about strict diets or intense exercise. Morning habit number 1, the sunrise ritual. Rose's first habit sounds almost too simple to work, but the science behind it is remarkable. Every morning at 6 a.m., she sits by her east-facing kitchen window for exactly 15 minutes. No sunglasses, no regular glasses, just her eyes absorbing the natural morning light, while she slowly drinks 16 ounces of room-temperature water. Here's what happens in your body when you expose your eyes to morning light. It triggers your suprasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock, to produce cortisol at the right time and suppress melatonin production. For seniors, this is crucial because our circadian rhythms naturally weaken with age. Rose used to wake up 4 to 5 times every night, feel groggy all morning, and need afternoon naps just to function. She was taking Ambient to sleep and drinking 4 cups of coffee to stay awake. Within 6 weeks of this simple ritual, she was sleeping 7 hours straight and waking up naturally energized. Her doctor was so amazed, he eliminated her sleep medication entirely. But here's the key. The light must hit your eyes directly, not through windows or glasses, and it must be within the first hour of waking. If you live in an apartment without east-facing windows, sit outside for 10 minutes or invest in a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp. If mobility is limited, position yourself where any natural light hits your face, even on cloudy days. This works because natural light is still more powerful than indoor lighting. Morning habit number 2, the gratitude and memory exercise. After her sunrise ritual, Rose does something that sounds simple but is scientifically powerful. She combines gratitude with memory strengthening in a way that's specifically designed for aging brains. She sits with a small notebook and writes down 3 things she's grateful for. But here's the twist. For each gratitude, she recalls a specific sensory memory in vivid detail. For example, instead of writing, "I'm grateful for my family," she writes, "I'm grateful for the sound of my grandson Miguel's laughter when he discovered the hidden compartment in my old jewelry box. I can still hear how it echoed in the hallway and see his eyes light up." This isn't just feel-good fluff, it's neuroscience in action. Dr. Rick Hanson's research shows that when we actively recall positive memories with sensory details, we literally rewire our brains to notice more positive experiences. For seniors dealing with isolation, depression, or memory concerns, this is transformative. Rose admits she started this habit during her darkest period. "I felt invisible, forgotten, like my life didn't matter anymore," she shares. "Some mornings, I could barely think of one thing to be grateful for." But within 3 weeks, something shifted. Her brain began automatically noticing small joys throughout the day. The mailman's friendly wave, the perfect temperature of her morning tea, a cardinal at her bird feeder. The memory component is equally crucial. As we age, we often focus on cognitive decline, but actively recalling detailed memories creates new neural pathways and strengthens existing ones. Rose noticed her recall improving, not just for old memories, but for new information too. She started remembering neighbors' names, where she placed her keys and details from conversations. The emotional benefits were immediate. She felt more connected to her life story and less lonely. If you have arthritis or vision issues, adapt this by speaking your gratitudes aloud or using voice-to-text apps. The key is the sensory detail. Smell, sound, texture, temperature. What's a favorite memory that still makes you smile? Share it in the comments because you've just started the rewiring process. But here's where it gets interesting. Habit number 3 involves something 90% of people do wrong every single morning, and it's sabotaging their energy all day long. Here's the mistake that was literally draining Rose's energy every morning, and it's probably draining yours too. Like most people, she used to stumble to the kitchen and pour herself a cup of coffee before anything else. This single habit was wreaking havoc on her body in ways she never imagined. Rose's new routine completely reversed this. Before any coffee, before any food, she drinks exactly 16 ounces of warm water with a pinch of pink Himalayan salt and fresh lemon juice. Why is this so crucial for seniors? After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is severely dehydrated, your blood is thicker, your joints are stiffer, and your brain is literally shrinking from lack of water. When you add caffeine to an already dehydrated system, you're asking your adrenals to work overtime, spiking cortisol and creating more inflammation. Rose discovered this during her research on Okinawan centenarians who have a morning water ritual that's been practiced for centuries. Within 2 weeks of changing her hydration sequence, Rose noticed her arthritis pain decreased significantly. Her morning joint stiffness that used to last for hours now disappeared within minutes of getting up. The warm water helps increase circulation. The salt provides essential electrolytes that seniors often lack, and the lemonade's digestion and provides vitamin C. But Rose had to overcome a common senior concern, frequent urination. I was afraid I'd be running to the bathroom all morning, she admits. But the opposite happened. My body learned to actually use the water instead of just flushing it out. The key is the timing and temperature. Room temperature or warm water is absorbed faster than cold water. The 30-minute wait before coffee allows your body to fully hydrate before the caffeine acts as a mild diuretic. Rose prepares her special water mixture the night before in a glass pitcher, adding ice if needed to reach room temperature by morning. She uses this as her cue. When she sees the glass, she drinks before anything else. If you take morning medications, consult your doctor about timing, but most can be taken with this hydration routine. What's your first drink every morning? Coffee, tea? Share below, because you might be shocked at how this simple switch affects your energy. But nothing prepared. Rose for the impact of habit number 4. It takes just 2 minutes, but most people skip it entirely, missing out on something that could prevent dangerous falls. Morning habit number 4, the mobility awakening. Before Rose even gets out of bed, she does a gentle 10-minute sequence that literally awakens her body from the inside out. This isn't exercise, it's preparation for life. Rose learned this from studying both centenarians and physical therapists who specialize in fall prevention. At my age, a fall isn't just inconvenient. It can be life-changing, Rose explains, but stiffness makes falls more likely. First ankle circles, 10 in each direction for each foot. This gets blood flowing to extremities and prepares your balance sensors. Next, knee to chest pulls, gently bringing each knee toward her chest and holding for 15 seconds. This targets hip flexors that tighten overnight. Then, shoulder rolls, 10 forward, 10 backward while lying down. This counteracts the forward head posture that develops from years of looking down. Rose adds gentle neck turns, slowly looking left and right, then up toward the headboard and down toward her feet. Finally, she does what she calls wake-up wiggles, moving her hands, feet, and fingers rapidly for 30 seconds to stimulate circulation. The science behind this is profound. During sleep, synovial fluid in our joints becomes thicker, making movement, painful and unsteady. These gentle movements literally lubricate your joints before you put weight on them. Rose's physical therapist was amazed at her improved balance and flexibility scores. But the real test came 6 months ago when Rose slipped on wet leaves outside her local grocery store. Instead of falling hard, her body automatically adjusted. Her improved hip flexibility allowed her to recover, and her enhanced proprioception helped her regain balance. "I know that fall could have broken my hip," she says. "This routine saved me from months in a nursing home." The key modifications for different abilities. If you have limited shoulder mobility, just move within your comfortable range. If hip problems prevent knee to chest, try gentle leg slides along the bed instead. For severe arthritis, focus on the movements that feel good and skip anything painful. Rose emphasizes listening to your body. Some mornings she does the full sequence. Other days just the ankle circles and wiggles. The goal isn't perfection, it's preparation. She keeps a small timer on her nightstand and uses the same sequence every morning, creating a ritual that signals her body to prepare for the day. Do you experience morning stiffness? How long does it usually last? Share your experience below because habit number 5 is going to surprise you. It's the most controversial thing Rose does, but researchers say it might be the secret to her remarkable longevity. Rose's final morning habit is the one that transformed her from feeling invisible and useless to becoming the heart of her community. Every morning after her other 4 rituals, she spends exactly 5 minutes writing down one specific way she will contribute to someone else's life that day. Not someday, not this week, that very day. This might sound simple, but it's scientifically proven to be one of the most powerful longevity factors ever discovered. When Rose started this practice, she felt completely worthless. Rose Martinez, VO. What could a broken-down old lady possibly offer anyone, she wondered. Her first contribution was calling her neighbor, Mrs. Chen, to ask how her doctor's appointment went. Rose Martinez, VO. It felt so small, almost silly, Rose remembers, but Mrs. Chen cried because no one else had bothered to remember. That tiny act created a ripple effect that Rose never expected. Mrs. Chen started checking on Rose daily. Soon Rose was calling other neighbors, sharing vegetables from the small garden she started, and offering to help young teachers navigate challenges she'd faced decades earlier. Within 6 months, Rose had become the unofficial neighborhood connector, the person everyone called when they needed support. The science behind this is remarkable. Dr. Patricia Bowles' research at Rush University found that people with high life purpose had 44% less cognitive decline and were 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. The Blue Zone's research shows that having a daily sense of purpose, what Okinawans call ikigai, can add up to 7 years to your lifespan. But the benefits go beyond longevity. Having daily purpose reduces inflammation, strengthens immune function, improves sleep quality, and increases overall life satisfaction. Rose's transformation was visible to everyone around her. Her adult children noticed she seemed happier and more engaged during phone calls. Her doctor commented on her improved posture and energy levels. Even her grocery store cashier mentioned she seemed to glow differently. The key is making it specific and daily. Not "I want to help people," but "today I will text my grandson about his soccer game," or "today I will compliment the postal worker who always smiles." Rose keeps a running list of small kindnesses, calling someone who might be lonely, sharing a recipe, offering encouragement, sending a thank you note, or simply listening without judgment. For those with limited mobility or social connections, this can be done online, commenting positively on social media, sending encouraging emails, or participating in virtual volunteer opportunities. Rose emphasizes that the contribution doesn't have to be big to be meaningful. "Some days I just smile at every person I see at the grocery store," she says. You'd be amazed how much that can brighten someone's day. She writes her daily purpose intention in the same notebook where she records her gratitudes, creating a morning ritual that sets both her mindset and her mission for the day. How do you currently contribute to others' lives? Share your ideas below because Small acts of kindness create the biggest transformations both for others and for yourself. The transformation in Rose's life is nothing short of miraculous. Let me paint you the before and after picture that still amazes everyone who knows her. At 85, Rose was taking 12 medications daily, using a walker to move around her house, and weighing 35 lbs more than she does today. She rarely left her home except for doctor appointments, spoke to her children only when they called out of obligation, and spent most days watching television and feeling sorry for herself. She was pre-diabetic with an A1C of 8.2. 2 had chronic joint pain and took sleeping pills just to get a few hours of rest. Fast forward to today at 94. Rose takes just 4 medications, drives herself to volunteer work 3 times a week, and has more energy than people half her age. Her A1C is now 5.9, completely normal. She's lost 35 lbs without dieting, sleeps 7 to 8 hours naturally, and her arthritis pain has decreased by 80%. But the physical changes are just the beginning. Rose has become the social connector of her neighborhood, maintaining relationships with over 30 people. She mentors new teachers online, runs a small community garden, and is learning Spanish to better communicate with her neighbors. Her doctor recently told her she has the cardiovascular health of a 70-year-old and the cognitive function of someone decades younger. Rose's secret isn't expensive treatments or complicated routines. It's 5 simple morning habits that work, together like a symphony. The light exposure regulates her sleep. The gratitude and memory work strengthen her brain. Proper hydration reduces inflammation. Gentle movement prevents falls. And daily purpose gives her reason to thrive. Rose Martinez VO, I'm not just surviving anymore. Rose beams. I'm truly living for the first time in years. Here's my challenge to you. Choose just one of Rose's 5 morning habits and commit to trying it for 7 days. Don't try to change everything at once. Rose didn't either. Start with the sunrise ritual if you struggle with sleep, or the hydration sequence if you have joint pain. Then come back and tell us in the comments what you noticed. Did you feel more energetic, sleep better, feel more optimistic? If Rose's story inspired you to believe it's never too late to transform your health and life, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs hope about aging.